Near the old man's heart melted. The sons will not permit me, so let's go without telling them. Saying so, he joined the group and set off for the pyramid. Now the old man had let the soul and emerged from it, fell off due to the high winds, and fell into the hut where the old man used to sleep, and in minutes it was burned to ashes. Meanwhile, the man who had brought the noon meal from the old man saw this and presumed, "O Lord, how can the old man survive on such a huge fire?" Then, leaving the meal there itself, he rushed towards the village to inform them about this misfuture. But midway, he bumped into the old man's son and told him, "Run, run! Your man has been burned." They rushed to the fields. People from the neighboring fields also, gathering upon seeing the logs of wood burning, their permission that it was the old man's hand or leg burning. G.M.S.M.
What did you say?
Wait, it's only part of the story.
What was the story about? Why did I choose this story? What was the reason you chose the story? What does this story tell you, teach you? Right? Does anybody understand the story? Did you?
No, I didn't.
Me? How about you, Bill?
Ram, you understood?
I got
No?
half of it.
Ram was scared.
So I think it was there was this son and he burned down the farm and his dad was inside, but he actually wasn't. And then when everyone was like, "Oh, there's no way he could survive that big fire."
Did he survive?
Yeah, because he was inside.
Did you know that there was recently there was a fire in India where 22 kids died in the building? There were a few people, few kids. At least there was one kid who was
He jumped.
29, and he was on the third floor, and he didn't know what to do. And then he prayed Bhagwan, and then he got inside his voice, said, "Throw your bag and you jump." So he threw his bag from third floor, he threw the bag, and then jumped. He survived, nothing happened. There is a lot of power. This is a true story of less than a 1 week old story. Right? Less than 1 week. It's not something I'm making.
G.M.S.M.
Next is Raj on page 19.
I know. Jivushu the Sila Kaida Mukaida Nijoti
Sila Tara Mukharani Jyoti
Haira Nahal Pyara Natari Numoti
Hairana Pyara Natari Namoti
Jivushu the Sila Kaida Mukaida Nijoti
Jivu Chura Sila Tara Mukharani Jyoti
Mukharu Joine Taru Moyumana Maru
Ine Taru Mohyumana Maru
Piyasa Saryu Sarve Dayumana Karu
Dear Sasayu Sarveda Yuman Karu
Jivushu the Sila Kaira Mukhaira Niroti
Jivu Chura Sila Tara मुखराने ज्योति
हैराना हार प्यारा न करीनु मोती
हैरानार प्यारा नतदीन मोती
जीवो शुद्ध शीला कायरा मुखरानी ज्योति
जीवुचुर शीला तारा मुखराने ज्योति
अतर मूर्त पानी दही तो गेली
अतरय मृत पाने तई हुत गेली
निशांतल झूल जालोक केरी मेली
तई चूल जालक केरी मेली
जीवु सुद शीला कायरा मुखरानी ज्योति
जीवुचुर शीला तारा मुखराने ज्योति
हैराना हार प्यारा न तरीनु मोती
हैरानार प्यारा नतदीन मोती
जीवो सुद शीला कायरा मुखरानी ज्योति
विभुचुर शीला तारा मुखराने ज्योति
मतवर निर्की तूने अंतर छे
सबर देखी तूने असरत रे छे
गुनी जन लोभ गोया दाजी रे मरे छे
जनलोक कर्या दाजी ने मरे छे
जीवु सुद शीला कायरा मुखरानी ज्योति
जीवुचुर शीला तारा मुखराने ज्योति
हैराना हार प्यारा न तरीनु मोती
हैरानार प्यारा नतदीन मोती
जीवु सुद शीला कायरा मुखरानी ज्योति
जीवुचुर शीला तारा मुखराने ज्योति
मन कर्म वचने हो दैरुत तारी
कर्म वचने उदयुतचारी
पुकरा ऊपर जाए ब्रह्मानंद वारी
पुकरा ऊपर जाए ब्रह्मानंदवारी
जीवु शुद्ध शीला कायरा मुखरानी ज्योति
जीवुचुर शीला तारा मुखराने ज्योति
हैराना हार प्यारा न करीनु मोती
हैरानार प्यारा नतदीन मोती
जीवु शुद्ध शीला कायरा मुखरानी ज्योति
जीवुचुर शीला तारा मुखराने ज्योति
समाराजनी जय
Next is Ram with a speech.
G.M.S. A devotee is protected from the troubles written in his destiny. In somewhat year 1869, Lord Swaminarayan came to the village of Koyad. He stayed there at a house of his devotee and then prepared to leave for another village. When the devotee came to see him off, then praising his conduct, Lord Swaminarayan asked him, devotee, how much grain do you have in your house? 1 bag. The devotee said, how many bags do you need in a year? 5, Maharaj asked. After you consume 1 bag, what will you do? The sincere devotee said, in many people's houses, treasures are overflowing, yet when they depart, they leave everything behind them. Hence, after we consume this 1 sack of grain, you come to fetch us. Maharaj said, to die without food is treacherous, hence please sow a field. He replied, there is no well here, so how can we sow grains? Maharaj said, you go to lower village, I shall speak to Sudakachat and he will give you a field. The devotee said, Babaji, I do not know farming. I have never plowed in my life. When we finish this one sack, we will presume that our lifespan is over, and please come to fetch us. Maharaj asked, "Have you sown anything in a field?" The devotee said, "I have sown 50 acres of seeds in a village which has dried up on a surface but is green in the roots. One bout of rain will make it sprout." Saying so, the field neared. He showed it to the Lord, saying, "This is the field where I've sown seeds." Maharaj said, "This was dried up completely." The devotee said, this was dried up completely. Um, it seems to it seems so on the surface. One bout of rain will revive the crop. Maharaj said, "You are a devotee who obtains all the dharma, so God will never make you sad. You remember God sincerely. He is the protector of your devotee and merciful. Hence, he'll definitely listen to your pleas. He, be brave and patient." Now the devotee stayed back, saying so he departed. So then the rain fell and he got food, so he kept living. So pretty much the moral of the story was how the devotee always kept Maharaj in his mind, and then when he needed Maharaj back, Maharaj helped him by helping putting rain all over the field, which gave him food. Since he only had one bag, but he needed 5, so then he had food for the year. Hmm? The devotee needed the food. Maharaj. Oh, I thought you said who needed the food. Okay. Macam sa Maharaj ni je.
Next is G on page 63. Kansham Maharaj ni jai. आज वालो बचे जमुना ने हारे गुरती वसी चे मन मारी रहेली आज वालो बचे जमुना ने हारे केसरनी यार रूढ़ी नलवट कीरी आक्यू बेचाती करी लीती रहेली आज वालो बचे जमुना ने आरे लोचन रंगीला तिका बांध चे मरा गया गरी गया आधा रहेली आज वालो बचे जमुना ने आरे से जाने वाले आले Ramanand Nore Valo Kunjano Vihari Jabi Bala Jau Balihari Reheli Yad Valo Bache Jamuna Neare Murti Vasite Manamari Reheli आज वालो बचे जमुना ने आरे Kansham Maharaj ni jai. Next excursion is Vajan in the binder.
Maharaj ni je. नागर नंदना रे मारे तमती लागी प्रीत
नागर नंदना रे मारी चमकी लागी प्रीत
प्रीत नागर नंदना रे मारे तमती लागी प्रीत
नागर नंदना रे मारी चमकी लागी प्रीत
તમતી લાગી પ્રીત મારું ચોરી લીધું ચીત નાગર નંદના રે મારે તમતી લાગી પ્રીત
નાગર નંદના રે મારે ચમકી લાગી પ્રીત
ફૂલનો તોરો સુંદર પાવ્યો પાગનો આવ્યો થાર
ફૂલો તોર સુંદર પાવ્યો ભાગનો આવ્યો
ફૂલનો તોરો સુંદર પાવ્યો પાગનો આવ્યો થાર
ફૂલો તોર સુંદર પાવ્યો ભાગનો આવ્યો
પાતરિયાથી લાગે છે પ્યારા
કાગરિયાથી લાગે છે પ્યારા
પાતરિયાથી લાગે છે પ્યારા
કાગરિયાથી લાગે છે પ્યારા
લટકારા તન લાલ નાગર નંદના રે મારે તમતી લાગી પ્રીત
નાગર નંદના રે મારે ચમકી લાગી પ્રીત
મોતીરાના હારની શોભા વર્ણાવી ન બજાય
મોતીરાના હારની શોભા વર્ણવી નવ જાય
મોતીરાના હારની શોભા વર્ણાવી ન બજાય
મોતીરાના હારની શોભા વર્ણવી ને જાય
કંતિલ તારી આભીન કુંતી
તારી આવીને કુર્તી
કંતિલ તારી આભીન કુંતી
ગતિર તારી આવીને કુર્તી
તે મૂર્તિ અંતર માય નાગર નંદના રે મારે તમતી લાગી પ્રીત
નાગર નંદના રે મારે ચમતી લાગી પ્રીત
રૂપ જાને કુમકુમ દરિયો દારમ કર્યું દાસ
દર ઉપર જન કુમકુમ દરિયો દારમ કર્યો દાસ
રૂપ જાને કુમકુમ દરિયો દારમ કર્યું દાસ
દર ઉપર જન કુમકુમ દરિયો દારમ કર્યો દાસ
બ્રહ્માનંદ ના વાલમ તમતી
બ્રહ્માનંદ ના વાલન સમતી
બ્રહ્માનંદ ના વાલમ તમતી
બ્રહ્માનંદ ના વાલમ સમતી
કે લકડિયાની કાંદ નાગર નંદના રે મારે તમતી લાગી પ્રીત
નાગર નંદના રે મારે તમતી લાગી પ્રીત
તમતી લાગી પ્રીત મારું છોડી લીધું ચિત નાગર નંદના રે મારે તમતી લાગી પ્રીત
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 સમાજની જ
Next is meet with the Vachamut. Ganshama Nije. Today we're doing Vachamut number 53, Garamatam. In Samvat year 1880, on the 5th day of the bright half of the month, Vaishaka, Swamiji Dadanji Maharaj was seated on the thick mattress and bolster spread in his own residential place in the Darbar of Dada Katra in Kadira. He had put on all white garments. Saints and devotees from various places had gathered before him in an assembly. Then Sriji Maharaj said, "It is said in the scriptures that when moh, or the infatuation, spreads in one's heart, he does not find any fault in his own self. This is the chief characteristic of a person who is overwhelmed by infatuation. Not to find fault in one's own self is also another name of infatuation. Moreover, everyone is proud of his own wisdom and knowledge, but no one understands that he has no knowledge of one's own self." So what's Maharaj saying in that? Kush.
Yeah. It is said in scriptures that when Mo, or infatuation, spreads in one's heart, he does not find any faults in one's own self. This is the chief characteristics of a person who is overwhelmed by infatuation. Not to find faults in one's own self is another name for infatuation. Moreover, everyone who is proud of his own wisdom and knowledge, but does not understand, but no one understands that he has no knowledge of his own self.
It's saying that when infatuation, when that goes to you, it means that you don't see anything wrong with yourself, and that makes you have a lot of pride in everything.
All right, what does everyone always finds good
Everyone.
qualities in oneself, right?
Yeah.
But
Everybody answer what you learned from this question. What did you guys understand? Everyone has to be everyone has to participate. Because otherwise what happens when a couple of people participate and they don't understand this particular like everything is going to happen. So I start what I was explaining what this question was about and
The question was about infatuation. When it spreads into your heart, then you don't find fault in yourself.
one word, what is it? One word. In the last sentence, did you use the one word?
everyone is proud of his own wisdom and knowledge, but no one understands that he has no knowledge of one's own self. Everyone is proud of who they are.
What does that mean?
Oh,
What does that mean? You tell everybody.
What Marge is saying is that everyone is proud of everything that they've accomplished, right? We are all proud of what we learned, everything that we know. But what Marge is saying is that we have no actual knowledge of our own self, our own body. And in the, yeah,
I mean, everybody looking outside. Oh, this guy's fat, or this guy's tall, or this guy's white, or black, or whatever. But do we actually know what type of soul we are? What type of soul we have? What we got?
no.
And we try to, we are proud of our wisdom by knowing what are things outside. But we don't know our own soul. Right? That's what we think. So everybody, does everybody understood? What is it?
Everyone thinks like they know everything, but they don't actually know anything about their own soul.
What about you?
Like you said, everyone thinks they know everything outside, but they don't know about their own self.
they say people think they're so smart and they know about like other people and stuff, but they don't know who they are inside.
Yeah. Everyone knows about like everyone has like knowledge and know like has so many like great accomplishments and like always thinks about that, but they don't know about like what's in their soul.
So everyone's always looking at what everyone else is doing. They're not thinking about themselves and things they're doing.
All right.
I don't know why you chose that. I think you should be the line and we are like just do something small, right?
It is small. No, it's the next one. Yeah. All right. He does not even know whether the soul in the body is black or white, long or short. He does not know anything about his soul, and yet he has the audacity to find faults in great men, or even God himself. He would say, "See, this is a great man," or God himself, and yet he does not know, he does not do this much properly. This is how he speaks ill of God and his saints. But the fool does not know what the God pervades an infinite number of universe. God can see in the soul and Ishwar of innumerable universes as if they are mere drops of water in his palm. It is he who sustains an infinite number of universes. He is the Lord of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. He is the doer and undoer of infinite number of universes. Even Shesh, who bears the universe on his head, Sharada, the goddess of learning, and Brahma, the god of creation, are not able to describe his greatness completely. Even the Veds cannot describe the greatness of God completely as it is, and hence they say neti neti, not this, not this. It means there is nothing in this world that can be compared with him. Further, there can be no end to the description of the greatness and the virtues of God. No scripture, even the Ved, can describe them fully and completely. Hence, no one who finds faults in episodes and in the wisdom of such great God should be considered a fallen soul, a sinner. He must be considered the greatest fool. So Omar just saying in this paragraph can be summed into a couple sentences. All he's saying is that uh, the person thinks he has wisdom, he has knowledge, right? But he doesn't have the knowledge of his own soul. And even though he doesn't have this knowledge that he's supposed to have of his own body, of his own soul, he continues to criticize other people. He says, this man is great, this man is powerful, he is so good, he could be God himself.